okay, going into the I guess the technical movement part of the games, the core of the mechanics are very similar from the PS1 games. Yeah, so what was the reasoning behind keeping the movements? And the web swinging was obviously slightly more developed where you could ascend and descend. The PS1s were kind of more of a descended glide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the metaphor I use is the PS1 is kind of like a platformer, like where the swings are just big jumps, and for us it was kind of like flying. First for the Spider-Man 1 game.
Yeah, and now, so what was the reason for keeping a lot of the movement and like the fighting mechanics, and like the way you've got like the web gloves, the web dome, and
Well,
keeping a lot of those moves the same.
the Neversoft game was super popular by our standards. Like at that time, like it was one of Activision's big sellers, and so it generally the thinking was don't mess with perfection. Like they got something that people like. Why are you? We Jason Bear, our gameplay engineer, he sort of immediately had ideas for different control schemes and different ways to control Spider-Man, and Activision pushed back and said, hey, this game sold really well. Why are you messing with it? I don't think any of us really appreciated how well the game would sell, that the movie would be so popular and then it would drive so many sales of the game.
And then regarding programming, so the look around and web targeting mode, which like on the PS2 would have been R3, where it puts you into the view and the wee icon comes up and you can choose where to zip to. So was it originally meant to, when working on, was it originally meant to be something else? Because I've seen videos of, I think it was Chad Finley from the first one, from the Neversoft first Spider-Man game, talking about it, and they said they wanted it to be a more complex web swing type of thing, but they couldn't get it to be what they had in their heads. So I'm just curious from yourself, was it originally meant to be something else, or was it just it was in the PS1 games, it worked, keep it?
I barely remember that mode.
Yeah. No,
so yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what the thinking was there for or how that planned it. I'm actually right in the middle of the new Spider-Man 2 right now, about 60% complete. So there's lots of places in that game where you like pick a spot on the wall where you can zip to, and I was actually on that's pretty cool. That's a nice feature, and I totally forgot. Yeah, we had it too.
Yeah, no, I haven't played 2 or the one before it, Miles Morales. I don't have a PS5 yet, and life takes a bit of priority on that one. But no, it's
I got to borrow a PS5 from work to test.
Nice.
Test what has just recently been announced is that Minecraft's coming native to PS5 soon. It's already available in preview. It just launched last week, so I guess that's a thing one could promote. I've been using that to both test Minecraft and play Spider-Man 2.
Best of both worlds. Yeah, so when making the game, when you were deciding what gameplay mechanics you wanted to add and incorporate into the game, were there any prerequisites that Sony or Marvel wanted to be in the game? It's like, oh, we need aerial battles because it's the Goblin, or anything like that, or were you given creative freedom to just do what you think is best?
Yeah, we had a lot of creative freedom. Like they gave us the script and they gave us some assets and said, here's what things are going to look like, and then we tried to make gameplay around that. We did definitely use the Neversoft game as a model too. The model of like having several boss fights during the course of the game. It's like, well, the movie only has one boss. What are we going to do? So that's sort of where the extra storylines came from.
When talking to Chris, he was saying that the game was originally going to be Spider-Man 3, like the sequel to Enter Electro, and they were originally going to have all the Sinister Six come to town and have all those sorts of boss fights. And then when it got transferred to the movie game, he was like, yeah, let's kind of keep a lot of the idea from that and just implement it into the movie game with all the boss fights and stuff.
Oh, nice. I don't remember that, but I totally believe that's what could have happened.
so the combat for the 2002 game has a lot more moves and combos and ways to interact with the enemies. And what was your creative thoughts and inspiration whenever you were making them?
Well, I had very little to do with that part. That was mostly Jason Bear, the main gameplay engineer, and the designers like Tomo and I believe Aki and Ray. But yeah, it was mostly Jason. Jason was a big driving force of being both the guy who had some ideas for how it could work and just went in and made them happen. James Zachary, the animator, was also pretty important in creating moves that had timings that Tomo and Jason liked. But yeah, I was pretty off about that stuff.
Okay, well, fair enough. The stuff that I had, I thought a lot of the moves were awesome, to be honest, especially for that time. Yeah, and then the city streets in the game are inaccessible. Was the game ever considered to be an open world at that time, or was it always level based?
There was a guy working on our team, Greg Taylor, who had this idea. Hey, and he wasn't talking about making the streets accessible, but he was talking about a way of sort of streaming in chunks of train data at a time, so you could travel through a much larger world, sort of. And this was even before GTA 3 had come out, so it was pretty creative thinking on his part. And he talked about that with me, and I was like, that's a great idea, man. But we've got at this point, we've got 11 months left on the schedule, or whatever it was. It was there's no way we can make that happen before we ship. But he was the lead when we started Spider-Man 2, and we said, okay, let's do the GTA thing. He was the lead on the technical side of making that geometry streaming in process happen. That made getting a fakey Manhattan onto the game a thing. So yeah, that was when he was kind of the first person who floated the idea that I remember.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Even the levels, even the I guess the outside exterior open world levels in the game, they do feel big. Whenever you're chasing the vulture and stuff and you're following through, it does feel like you are going through a city.
Yeah, especially
even though there's probably compared to the
previous games. Yeah,
whenever you're playing some of the outside boss battles, where it's vulture to goblin, it's just I just really liked how you just see the background, the sky just getting darker and darker as it transitions tonight throughout the levels. I just thought that was always a sweet touch. And then the secrets in the game, if hopefully you recall them. But so the secrets in the game, so in the first level, there's a random secret that you can stumble across, where it's the girl lost her handbag on a rooftop. And then whenever you... Yeah.
Remember that one.
Don't? Heartbreaking. But so basically you rescue her, and then she says... I've lost my handbag. And then you have to go and find it on another rooftop. You ask why is it on a different rooftop? Are you on a tour of rooftops? And she's like, yes. So once you do that, you get secrets, which is basically a currency that allows you to go into the store in the main menu and buy costumes, cheats, big head mode, all stuff like that. But it's later on in the game, the secrets just become optional rooms that whenever you walk into, you get the points. You walk in, it says secret discovered or whatever the wording is, and then you get the points. And I was just curious if the secrets system and the currency of how it was implemented, was it originally meant to be maybe something bigger with side quests, I guess side quests, and stuff like that, and then it got stripped down, or...
Yeah, I'm sorry, I really don't.
Nothing,
really don't
absolutely.
Remember what happened there. I think Neversoft kind of pioneered that, right? The secret rooms.
Yeah, they had What If,
stuff,
which was awesome.
Economy that we were probably riffing off of, but yeah, I don't remember. I do not remember details.
If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel on Ko-fi and Patreon. And if you didn't enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel on Ko-fi and Patreon. Right, good luck.